it's nice to see you. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you very much. More to the point, how are you feeling? You've tasted freedom.
I've tasted freedom. It's true. Should we turn the video off?
Let's do that.
Because then I can concentrate on just talking here.
Yeah.
I have tasted freedom. In fact, I'm going to send you something. And on Sunday morning, I escaped MIQ. Well, they let me out.
It's important to make that distinction. We don't want anyone chasing you.
And then as I was about to leave for the airport to fly down to Wellington, I got this text message, which I've just sent to you.
Okay, so the text message is... Due to high winds forecasted in Wellington today, there is the potential for your flight to be disrupted. We recommend you stay up to date with information on the status of your flight here at blah, blah, blah. We're also offering... I just love that. Oh, no.
Are you mad? Don't fly today. Fly another day.
This is a podcast in which two friends have serious conversations about silly things and silly conversations about serious things.
I'm Simon Ellis.
And I'm Lee Miller.
Welcome to Midlifing. So we had an awesome tailwind. The flight normally takes an hour and 5 minutes. We were there in 40.
Holy mother of pearl, that's good. That's
I swear they stuck a parachute out the front of the plane and just went, wow! And the pilot said, it's going to be a bit bumpy. The thing you need to know about Wellington Airport is it's a tiny strip of land, and on one side is Cook Strait, which is the strait of water between the North and South Islands of New Zealand, and it is one of the roughest patches of sea in the world. Like, it's notoriously rough. And the other side is Wellington Harbour. So you have a tiny strip of land between two bodies of water. And so we're coming in from the south because it's a northerly, and the plane is just all over the place. It's a reasonably big plane, I guess it's a 737, I don't know, but and it's just bumping all over the place. And, people are pretty quiet because it's, I don't know how many bumpy flights you've been in, but this is going on and on, so they tend to make those approaches really long, and then eventually we're getting closer, and the thing is about as you get closer in Wellington, you're still over sea, you don't see land, so you're getting quite close to the sea, and the thing's bumping. This is not the first time this happened. And then the point at which the pilot just aborted the landing.
Oh wow, seriously?
Yes. I think it's like the fourth time in my life it's happened on that airstrip.
So what happened?
Airfield. It's really an airfield, basically.
Where did you go? How did you get there eventually?
Well, we just, you can, and I said to the person next to me, oh, that's not a good sign, which I think he was really anxious.
Oh,
and
that's a good thing to say to a nervous flyer. Oh, I think we're going to die.
No, I didn't. I really should have said, "Oh, it's yeah." Anyway, I really
nothing
didn't,
to worry
I felt
about.
So bad.
This has happened so many times to me. That's what you say.
Exactly, and that's what was happening behind me because there was two young children and their father was talking them through. He was talking all of us through this moment, frankly, and we get up back to a kind of a reasonable height, and the pilot goes, "Well, that wasn't too good, was it?" So we're going to go around and have another go, and fingers crossed it works out this time.
Wow.
He said fingers crossed. And of course my immediate thought is, wow, I hope it's more than luck.
I'd be saying, listen, please, uncross your fingers. You're going to need them all to flick the switches. Don't be hampering us by crossing 4 of your fingers over. That's 2 less switches you can hit. 2 fewer switches. Sorry. Grammar.
Thank you for that. I would have wanted to correct that in post. And so we went through it again, and the father's talking the children through it, and the person next to me his knuckles are getting whiter and whiter. Mm-hmm. And my kind of practice in that respect is to try and go with the feeling, meaning when you bump, you're not sort of holding your body against it. There's no point, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite a nice ride, and yet it's also frightening. And then he bumps it down. We were kind of, there's that point where you go, oh, we're over land, and then you're down. Like it's seconds when you see land, and then you're down. And everyone bursts into applause, which I don't think's a thing in New Zealand. It is in Southeast Asia. Every time you land a plane in Southeast Asia, people clap. And then the flight attendant, the lead flight attendant, gets on the, whatever that's called, the intercom, the PA, I don't know, and says, well, welcome to Wellington, everyone. I think we've all earned an extra biscuit tonight.
Oh, Wellington, New Zealand. They know how to live.
Yep. It is called Windy Wellington, or it used to be. They tried to rebrand it, which you've heard about. Absolutely, positively, Wellington was trying to get away from Windy Wellington.
Yeah. Absolutely, positively, cross your fingers, we're going to be fine. So tell me. It's just, when I know it's an awful thing, but whenever I've been on I haven't been on very many bumpy flights. I've been on a couple. I find it really hard not to just flash straight to airplane. I just get the giggles because I'm thinking, it looks like I picked the wrong week to give up sniffing glue. And I just,
For some of our younger listeners, you might need to explain the reference.
So in the 1970s, there was a trend in filmmaking that I think it began with The Towering Inferno. Which
I
was,
wouldn't know which one came first.
I think it was a director or a producer called
Really?
Irwin Allen, if my memory serves, and I might be completely wrong, but you can kosher it while
1974 disaster film, Irwin Allen, Paul Newman in it, Steve McQueen.
So I was half right. It was Irwin Allen, but it wasn't as early as I thought it was. And you've also got a lot of kind of nature deciding to wreak its harsh and bloody revenge upon humanity. So you've got like the frogs, the bees, the ants.
Earthquakes.
Yeah. So you've got all of those sorts of things. Oh, and the Poseidon Adventure, of course.
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness. And by the way, Airport 1975 is a 1974 American air disaster film and the first sequel to the successful 1970 film Airport.
Was Airport the first?
Interesting, huh?
Oh, I didn't know that. Well,
it stars Charlton from My Cold Dead Hands, Heston.
He is dead, isn't he?
He is.
He's on my mum's spreadsheet, I'm pretty sure.
He's on your mum's spreadsheet. He is, for sure.
But after this spate of disaster films, the Zucker brothers made a film called Airplane. Is that right? The Zucker brothers? I think so.
You mean the comedy, the spoof
comedy,
one?
Yeah, the spoof one. And Leslie Nielsen, who
Leslie Nielsen was in all of them.
Up until that point, he'd been a fairly straight leading man. He was in he was in Forbidden Planet in 1956. Is that right? And he was like, he was the handsome lead.
All I just know him as, having the mic on and taking a pee in whichever film that was.
That would be one of the Naked Guns.
Naked Gun.
Nothing for me.
Airplane is a 1980 American parody film written and directed by David and Jerry Zucker.
The Zucker brothers.
You have so many brain cells.
And I am
filled with useless crap.
I am 2.5 glasses, nearly 3 glasses of red wine into my evening at this point. So I am just floating on a very nice red from the Douro Valley. That was a bin end offer in the local wine shop. Very nice.
That's not. Yes, so Airplane. That's your Naked Gun. I think we should just stop this episode now and just
tell everybody recordings. Yeah. If everybody just goes and watches The Naked Gun, Airplane
for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah, just enjoy lines like this. And Leon's getting larger. What do you make of this? Well, I can make a hat. I can make a brooch. I can make a pterodactyl. Which then tips me and Bob down a rabbit hole of quoting things at each other. And then we start to get to Neil Simon's Murder by Death. Have you seen that?
I don't know if I have.
Okay, so it's impossible to watch now because it is hugely problematic in terms of its representation of South Asian caricatures, played by, unsurprisingly, Peter Sellers.
I was going to say David Niven, but no, yes.
David Niven is in it, but David Niven...
Yes, and so is Alec Guinness. Alec... Oh, no, it's not.
No,
he's
he's
the other one.
Luke,
Use the force.
reach out with the force. Listen to your feelings, Luke.
We're running through your mother's spreadsheet pretty quickly.
We are. We're just dealing... but Maggie Smith is in that film. Oh, that's tacky. That's really tacky. And she's not dead. If you can get past the appalling stereotypes, it's got lines like, "Good God, gas! I can't help it, I'm old. Not that gas, the gas that kills. Sometimes my gas kills." Oh, me and Bob will lose
doesn't love a fart
hours.
joke,
I know. We will lose hours watching or just reciting them at each other. I think it's the secret to our happy marriage. So you landed. I'm sorry, I took us down a right little...
Well, then I came to Waikanae, so I'm in Waikanae. Just a moment. Hang on, give me a minute.
So Simon is obviously staying at his mum's. And it is now 9:20 on in the morning. So I think that things are starting to kick off around the house. So he's obviously just going to...
Are you there?
Yeah, I am. I am there. But I'm here even. I was just monologuing while you went away. I'm still here.
What? Just because I left doesn't mean you can leave.
I haven't left. Simon, I'm here. I'm here. I haven't left. I'm here.
Oh no, I've lost my podcasting partner.
I'm here. Can you not hear me? Simon, I'm here.
Something's happened.
I don't know what, because I can hear you perfectly well. What's going on?
What about now?
I'm still here. I can hear you. I've been able to hear you the whole time. Can you hear me? He's going to hang up. He's going to hang up in a minute. This is.
I don't understand why I can't hear you.
Can
you hear me? Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. I can hear you. I'm still talking. Oh, what have I done? Let me try this.
Can you send me a text message to tell me what the fuck's going on? Is it something that I've done?
I don't know. You're the one who walked away. Let me then send a text. I am here.
But I can't hear you.
Call me back.
Okay. Testing.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have no
hello?
idea how this is going to work. So now we're going to have to do another clap. It was bizarre because you just walked away and came back. I could hear you fine. Had the cable come out of your earphones by any chance?
No, I checked all that.
So I heard voices. Was it the radio?
Yes. The walls are reasonably thin in this.
Right. Okay, let's try and get back on topic. You're arriving. You arrived. You're fine. You're safe. You got there. You're in
Waikanae.
Waikanae. Thank you very much.
And Waikanae is about an hour north of Wellington.
Okay.
It's a very small place.
Mm-hmm.
It's around 12, 13k. But to give you an idea of its size, and actually this is maybe a thing about New Zealand. I can't tell. I think it's about a small place, but I think it's about New Zealand. Yesterday, Gabriel had an overdue library book, and because I decided to go in and just drop it back off.
Mm-hmm.
I called them and they said, it's got a couple of, what do you call it, when people have...
Fines? Requests.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So I took it back and I said, I know this is overdue. My mum's pretty sick, so that's why it's overdue. And she said, oh, well, there's a fine. It's $3.60. But because she's sick, we should just not worry about that.
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? And I came out of it thinking, that's so New Zealand. And I thought, maybe it's small town New Zealand. Like, would that happen in Auckland or Wellington? Yeah, it's a really beautiful little place, and it's just the antithesis of the UK, really, in the sense, I don't mean the UK is not beautiful, I just mean in terms of space. Like walking down the street, it's mind-boggling how much space there is in New Zealand. It's, and it's also a beautiful time of year, of course, because it's spring. And,
Of course it is.
it's all going on.
Yeah, everything's coming up. Not quite roses yet, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're having fish and chips for lunch today, just as a anyway.
Is that because today's Friday?
Oh, I think maybe it is, but also fish and chips in New Zealand are really good.
Are they?
I mean, really good. It's worth the flight, I reckon. I mean, fuck the planet. And the fish.
Yeah, well, Simon, that ship's already sailed for you, hasn't it? Too
Thank
soon.
you. Sorry,
Too
you were
soon.
going to... yeah, little...
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
a little raw, that one.
Yeah, I know. But don't worry, the climate, it's not going anywhere. Oh, wait. It is.
The only way is up. The only way is up.
In terms
Who
of
sang that song?
Yaz and the Plastic Population. Oh my God, why are you making me do this? Why are you pulling bits of information out of my head that shouldn't be there? Son of a gun.
You're incredible.
Son of a gun. Look how I'm moderating my language just in case Mrs. Ellis stumbles across this episode. I've said mother of pearl and son of a gun so far today. I'm doing well.
Yes, in fact, I've been the perpetrator of curses.
I think I would actually relish the opportunity to talk to your mum so that I can say, the thing is, Mrs. Ellis, actually your son has the pottier of the potty mouths. I just cut them out in order that you don't get disappointed in him. And I leave my swears in to make him look like he's a more elegant human being than he actually is.
Your altruism knows no bounds, Lee Miller. Thank you for making me sound so...
My altruism knows
articulate.
no starts. That's a true story.
Yeah. Hey, there's a couple of things I was going to talk about, but
Go ahead. I've got nothing. My head is empty. I emptied it all out on tattoos last week.
just a little thing that. So, the week before last, I apologised to someone via an email, actually, which was really the only appropriate way to do it in this case for a bunch of reasons. And I'd thought very deeply about the email. It was very brief. It was very sincere, but it was quite a long time after the thing that I felt guilty about, the thing that I'd done. And to be clear, I had done this thing. It's not important what it is. Oh, was it before or after I sent it? I read something by a woman, an Italian writer called Anna Maria Testa, her name is, and she said that, to be clear, we say sorry for many, many reasons. But the only one that counts, the key one, is when we are effectively trying to improve the experience of that person. So it's never done for us. It's never done for the person who's saying sorry. If it's done, if I'm doing it in order to make me feel better, then it's not really an apology, according to her. And that my work in saying sorry is to help that person understand what happened, why it happened, to help improve their situation, and to decrease the chances that you will do it again. And I think it caught me because when I sent this email, I think I was serving both of those masters, meaning I think I wanted it to be better for this person, but I think I was also trying to make myself feel better about it. And I wonder what you think about that.
I tend to distrust people who speak in certainty like that. Because it very...
Of course, it might be misrepresenting her a little bit, but yeah anyway.
I just feel that it very rarely speaks to lived experience. And I think that how does the person to whom you are apologising know that you are offering something in a selfish way? In the sense that you are offering it to make yourself feel better and not them feel better. That would come down to me about the nature of your performance of the apology. So there's questions for me about sincerity and the performance of sincerity, but I'm really fine recognising that people are super complex, and they can be saying one thing and thinking multiple other things at the same time. All I need to do is believe what they are offering me. So I don't believe that that the work is to make the other person. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't think you can take yourself out of the equation of an apology, because if you are not feeling that prick of guilt, there is nothing to press you towards having the conversation and opening up the potential for an apology with that person.
Yes, except you know yourself, don't you? If it's the sincerity of it, forgetting about how it's received, the performance of it, but don't you know yourself when you're giving the apology that the sort of extent of its sincerity?
Yeah, but if I do a good job of the performance of it, then the other person shouldn't be in any doubt of the sincerity either. And I would suggest there is a huge gap between intention and reception. So what I'm hearing you talk about with Anna Maria Testa's writing is she is writing about intention, and an apology for me is all about reception.
Except I think she's saying it's about reception for sure for the person the apology is designed for, but actually the intention on behalf of the person giving the apology actually makes an enormous difference to that person, for it to have served that person, to serve their development, to serve their
I've done the bad thing for my development.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that for sure, but I just think that I think there can be inauthentic apologies that are offered with a level of authenticity that do a good job in the world.
But also the other thing about, you said about having someone feeling the pressure, that the prick of guilt, I think you used those words. But of course there are many circumstances in our society today in which people just feel cultural pressure that somehow they effectively have been shamed into admitting something. Mm-hmm. And mostly you see it because you can see their confusion. Why is it that I'm apologizing? Not they don't say that, but it's like it's sort of written writ large in their body and their words.
That's that part about the intention and reception. If you deliver, I'm sorry you felt that way, your intention is to communicate that you don't really feel sorry.
But I think there's actually a little bit of a little line there, which is I think often the desire is to communicate apology, and yet because our apologies have become that performance, that kind of I'm sorry if you were offended performance, that it's, I think maybe we've talked about this before, but we've sort of lost that capacity to go, I did this. I take responsibility for doing this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unless you're really going, I understand what's gone on here, why should I apologize?
Well, actually, it doesn't really matter if you believe that you've got something to apologize for. There are enough people who you have upset. That's all you need to understand. You've upset some people. You don't have to think the thing I did was upsetting. You just have to go, oh, I upset some people. Oh,
yeah, but if you don't understand why you've upset people, what's the point?
Well, because there's lots of things that people receive from me that I don't understand. And I can either make
It's possible that they shouldn't have been upset, isn't it?
Oh, but that's like, then we're in the landscape of facts aren't feelings, and that's a tricky one to start to kind of, or feelings aren't facts, I should say. I did it the wrong way around. But it's true, facts are not feelings either. Okay, if you think about the way you go into a clinical space and somebody will say to you, okay, it hurts. Can you give me a scale of 1 to 10 how much it hurts? So when I was at the doctor's the other month now with my gallbladder, I was asked on a scale of 1 to 10 how much did it hurt? And I've been in that situation enough to know that I am not being asked to rank my pain against the idea of being flayed alive. Which is the first time I ever went to see a doctor. He said, how much, it was my knees. I think I've said this on the podcast. How much do your knees hurt? And I said, 2. He said, why are you talking to me? It's like, well, 10 is being flayed alive and then rolled in salt. He went, have you ever been flayed alive and rolled in salt? No. Well, why would you use that as a descriptor? I said, because this is an abstract scale. Where else would I put 10? He said, 10 is how much you can bear. It's like, oh, okay. But if you don't have that kind of concept, it's difficult. You know, if people don't give you the structure around the scheme, how are you supposed to respond to it? For me, it was in the abstract. It's kind of like that for me with other people's hurt, other people's emotional hurt. You can't say to somebody, you shouldn't have been upset by that. They were upset.
No, that's what I said, isn't it?
Yeah, and that there are people who are upset. Therefore, the sensible response is to go, I hurt your feelings. I am really sorry I hurt your feelings. I totally didn't mean to.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I hurt you. I'm sorry what I said caused you pain. It wasn't my intention.
And yet, without understanding why, yes, I appreciate that it helps that person, that it will be important, but don't we need to understand why someone's feelings have been hurt?
Well, do we not get into a conversation? I suppose it depends who I'm apologising to. If I'm apologising in the abstract on Twitter, then, you know, if I'm saying sorry to somebody who I know. And then usually there is a conversation that comes about as a result of me saying sorry.
By the way, I think the problem earlier with the audio, I think I've got a dodgy jack on my headphones, I think, which is not a good thing.
That is not a good thing.
I wonder what it's like. I'm going to turn the headphone jack around. Hang on.
Okay.
I can't hear you, just in case you're wondering.
I wasn't wondering.
Oh, thank goodness I don't have to buy a new set of headphones.
Thank goodness. That is better.
But I've been saving for 6 years to buy a new computer.
Wow, you could probably afford like Big
can.
Blue.
I would go.
You could win all the chess.
Could beat me at chess.
You could win all the chess at this point. Get that Bobby Fischer over. I'm going to cream that motherfucker.